In today's session of Divorce Court, he says faith brought them together.
I go by the belief of Christianity.
What happened to your Christian belief? You were dating before you were married, and she was pregnant before you were married. What happened to that?
She says their sins tore them apart.
I do not believe this child is mine.
He lost his job. He went out to ditch parties, partying for a month instead of looking for a job.
What is a ditch party?
They go and they drink and they party.
Not Mr. Christian morality that wants to teach his child the right way.
14 times she called her ex-boyfriend.
You're kind of regretting that you married your husband as opposed to your ex?
Today, Angela Smith and Samuel Apresa face the judge in Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Samuel Apresa versus Angela Smith. I understand, Mr. Apresa, you're kind of upset over this marriage because of some religious and educational differences. Tell me about that.
That's only the beginning, Your Honor. One of my main concerns was I was raised in a Christian atmosphere. Unfortunately, I should be practicing it more than I am, but I am in the strong beliefs that to raise my daughter in a Christian background, I believe it's important that she has these morals and this background. And unfortunately, my soon-to-be ex does not believe in the same.
Yes, I do.
What does she believe in?
She believes, from what I've understood, is that I've talked with her several times, and she believes that there is a God. Okay, but who the God is, it's whatever you would like the God to be. Not necessarily meaning that, not meaning that they'll give you insight and like, okay, this spoon's talking to me, but that there's a God out there.
But not your God that you believe in.
But that there's not. She hasn't generalized the God.
We're both Christian. We both believe in the same religion. I just don't go to
No,
church every Sunday. He doesn't go to church.
Well,
That is
excuse me.
incorrect.
Christianity as a belief is not more than just going to church.
Correct.
There is a belief associated with that. And if you're a strong Christian and you say she doesn't believe in it, what happened to your Christian belief when according to these papers, you were dating before you were married and she was pregnant before you were married? What happened to that?
Like I said, I go by the belief of Christianity. I'm not
When it's
practicing,
convenient for you or all the time?
I'm not practicing it the way it should be.
But
okay?
you want to teach your daughter to do so.
But I would like to teach my daughter, and I want to start anew, the way I believe it should be.
Why do you keep saying your daughter? The papers say you have 2 children.
I do not believe this child is mine.
It's his.
Oh,
do not
another
believe
one
mine.
you don't believe the child
No,
is
I do
yours?
not. No,
So
I do
what's
not.
the second child, a son or daughter?
It is a daughter.
So the oldest child is how old?
28 months.
So you believe that one is yours?
Yes, without
No
a
doubt in your mind?
Without a doubt.
But
Without
the
a doubt.
second child, how old is that child?
I believe it's 7 months.
6.
6 months old?
Yes.
And why don't you believe that child is yours?
What happened was one of the reasons why we got married. Okay, one is I believe that I did impregnate her, and it was my duty to take care of her. Okay.
And the child.
And the child. And
And you're very commendable for that.
And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to join the Air Force. Okay. I went down and got all the paperwork ready, and
But you're going on another subject now.
this is why we got married. When I went to the Air Force, they gave me a 2 weeks period of time. When they came in the 2 weeks, they said, okay, you'll take your physical and you'll sign the papers. If you want her to be on the family plan for her insurance,
For the baby.
the baby would automatically, because it's my baby.
Right.
Okay? But for her, if she wants to be insured, if I want to insure her, I have to be married. So we had
So
2
you
weeks.
married her for insurance?
So we went to
We were gonna
Vegas.
get married
So we went
before.
to Vegas.
But are you saying that you only married her for insurance purposes for the military?
Well,
You didn't love her?
That's in the back of my mind. I would not have gotten married this quick. I would have
Even
stayed
with your
together.
Christian belief and she was pregnant, you wouldn't have married her that quickly?
Unfortunately not. I would
Well,
not.
now
have.
I understand why you're at conflict. She doesn't know where you're going.
And
One
like-
minute you're practicing as a Christian and trying to demand that she go to church and be religious, and the next minute you're doing whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. She's an adult. She gets to decide how she wants to live her life religiously.
Like I said, I'm not claiming to be the perfect Christian. I am not claiming.
He's
In
a
fact,
I
hypocrite.
understand that. None of us are perfect. We're all trying. But the point is, you can't force your religious belief on her, on your wife.
Oh, on no means do I mean to. What has happened through our relationship, especially with the daughter, that I would like a paternity test to decide whether
I was
it's
about
mine
to
or
say,
not.
why am I sitting here having the opinion that this is not the cause or the crux of your problem the religious training. There is something else going on in between you two people.
Yeah, maybe.
And I hear an undercurrent with you saying, I'm not sure that the 7-month-old is my child. What's that all about, Mrs. Smith?
He caught me. I talked to my ex-boyfriend on the phone trying to get a hold of
Notice
his...
the word caught.
On the phone.
Obviously, she admitted something right there.
Well, all she said was caught so far.
I wasn't hiding it.
Wasn't hiding what?
It was on our cell phone bill. I know he was going to look at it. I didn't care.
What was on your cell phone bill?
My ex-boyfriend's phone number.
So you were calling him during the marriage?
Ask her how many times.
I talked to him once or twice, but I talked to his mother because his mother is one who's taking care of me. We were best friends. We were best friends, and I hadn't talked to her in a year and a half because he told me I couldn't have any contact with her.
So the phone number, even though it's the ex-boyfriend's number, you were really talking to the mother?
Yes. And
she
I
was
told
your
him that.
confidant?
Yes.
And you weren't talking to him?
No, really. I talked to him because he answered the phone, and I talked to him and said, hi, how are you doing? How's your life?
How many times did that take place?
Once or twice I talked to him, but...
Were you missing him?
No.
Was he different than your husband?
Yeah, but we
Did you have more
broke up.
fun with him?
No.
Were you kind of regretting that you married your husband as opposed to your ex?
No, that's my whole point. I married him, not my boyfriend.
So you didn't want that
chose
guy?
him. No.
So why did you think she was dealing with the ex-boyfriend?
Notice how she said caught. Notice how she said once or twice.
Yes.
What happened was when I bought her the cell phone.
I noticed that.
I noticed I bought her the cell phone bill on Mother's Day. Okay. I had to work that day when we joined the cell phone Sprint. And what happened was we joined at the middle of the month. When the bill came, it was only for 17 days. Okay. What happened was
17 days, how many calls were on it?
14 times she called her ex-boyfriend.
That's not true.
Including 14 times, and paged him, and paged now the house.
She's only talking to his mother because that's her confidant.
14. I've never, throughout the relationship, throughout the time we've been together, I've never once heard her talk to his mom on the phone.
But you've heard her talking to the boyfriend?
I talked to her in front of him.
I never heard her talk to it, but here's what happens. This is her first...
17 times, 14 times in 17 days? You had an awful lot to say to your ex-boyfriend's mother.
I've called and nobody's answered.
So all of those were unanswered calls?
A lot of them. I've talked to her maybe 5 times.
So
that
here's
much.
your ex-boyfriend's mother, and you feel a need to call her every day, 14 times in 17 days. Now, for some reason, I'm not quite believing that one either.
I don't remember, but I did miss her. That's the whole point, was I missed her.
So you believe just because of the phone bills that she was having a relationship with her ex-boyfriend when in fact you have no proof of it?
Well, what happens is when we were together, okay, when we were together after the birth of our child of Alyssa, when we were having sexual relations, okay, we never used protection, okay. We would need to. We were married.
I was in the shot.
We were.
Well, I disagree with that. Just because you're married,
you're right.
you know,
you're right.
AIDS and venereal disease gets on married people too.
Yeah. Okay. I understand. But during this time, when I found out about the phone bill, I slept on the couch. Okay. I was sleeping on the couch because I refused to go in.
So you stopped sleeping with her.
Correct.
And he didn't tell me anything.
Just because of the phone bill.
He didn't tell me anything.
No,
what was going on.
a lot of the problems that were going on between us, we were constantly arguing.
Over what else? Because please tell me that you argued more than the fact that the phone number appeared on the phone bill. That's jumping to conclusions without any facts.
Some of the times, like she was very, very controlling, very controlling. When she was at work.
Your wife control you. She hasn't gotten a word in today.
Okay. All right. Well, that's because I have more to say. Okay.
I have a lot
to
say.
Now, here's what happens. This is why I say she's more controlling. Is she would call me from work, okay? She would work in the morning, I work at night. She'd call me at work and she'd say, okay, have you fed Alyssa? I'd say yes.
He never fed her.
She would want me to keep the bowl, the spoon, the cup, whatever I fed her, and leave them dirty so when she got home,
to
she
prove
could
that you had fed her?
Exactly.
No, but
and
I
this is
didn't
my daughter.
understand.
I'm going to take care of my daughter.
Wait a minute, what is that all about? You required him to show proof that he had fed your child?
This is my daughter.
No, because look, this is what I don't understand. He said that he fed her. He wouldn't tell me what he fed her.
Why should I need to?
When he fed her, but there was dirty dishes in the sink. If he's gonna clean her little bowl, why isn't he gonna clean the other dishes?
So now wait a minute. So you're thinking because you don't see a dirty dish that belongs to your daughter, or that you don't see more than one dirty set of dishes, that he's not feeding your child.
When Divorce Court returns, Angela testifies that Samuel isn't the saint he claims to be.
He went out to ditch parties, partying for a month instead of looking for a job.
What is a ditch party?
They go and they drink.
Not Mr. Christian morality that wants to teach his child the right way.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. Divorce Court is back in the case of Samuel Apresa, who says he no longer trusts his wife Angela after finding her ex-boyfriend's number on their cell phone bill.
How old are you two people?
I'm
Because you look
21.
like children.
22.
I'm 21.
And you're 22. It seems like you just got married much too young, and you think that you're still playing with your tea set. You want to know what he's feeding the baby every time and make sure that I can see the dishes?
I just asked, and it kind of seemed very peculiar that, oh, I don't have to tell you.
It
Like, he
seems
was
very peculiar that a mother and a wife who took the time to marry somebody seems rather juvenile that you would expect that this man that you was good enough to have a baby by, good enough for you to marry, that he's the type of man that would not feed his child.
Things change
What does
a
that
lot.
say about you and your choices of men?
It's bad because things changed a lot after we got
But
married.
you had no evidence. What would make you think that this man would sit there and deliberately starve your baby and not feed her?
Because he wouldn't
she's
bathe her, he
controlling.
wouldn't brush her hair, he wouldn't feed her around me, he wouldn't do anything except for play with her.
A lot
I
of
had
men
to do
don't feed the
everything.
children when the mother's around. They leave that to women to do because they're just trained and taught like that.
But when we
That's
moved-
not
See, you
unusual.
know-
When we moved in with my roommates, they saw everything that went on. He only gave her bottles of milk.
How the roommates
he
could
slept
not.
So
all
the
day.
roommates then started telling you otherwise.
Yes.
Wrong.
What the roommates tell you?
He only gave her bottles. He only came downstairs to get bottles. He slept. I would come home at 4:30 in the afternoon, and they were still in bed or sleeping on the couch.
Why did you move in with roommates?
Because he lost our apartment.
How did he lose it?
I kept working, and I was still working. He lost his job. He went out to ditch parties with, some people partying for a month instead of
What's
looking
ditch
for
parties?
a
I
job.
thought you did that in high school.
Yeah, I thought so too.
So what do you mean by ditch parties?
He was going out with this girl and her boyfriend and going to ditch parties.
What is a ditch party?
They go and they drink and they party and they ditch school and meet up at somebody's house.
But he's
Why
out
would
of
I
school.
be hanging out with them?
I don't know. He was hanging around with some high school girl.
Not Mr. Christian morality that wants to teach his child the right way. You're not ditching. Wait a minute, you too old to ditch. But you're not going out hanging with someone in school that's ditching school, drinking at someone's house
Wrong.
when the parents aren't
It's
home?
true.
Wrong.
You
It's
wouldn't do
true.
that.
Wrong. First
The
of all,
girl
how
called
would
my
she?
house
So why would you trust a stranger?
because he lies to me a lot, and I find out everything that he lies about.
You better understand women too. They lie a lot too, especially when they're interested in your man. What's happening
I don't
here
know
is
how
you
to
people are
prove-
so young, you don't know how to evaluate things. Every little thing, you're jumping to a conclusion. You're blowing it up and making it bigger than what it is.
Well, I don't know how to prove it because she told me he said, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I made a mistake," and blah blah blah. He denied everything. At
and right,
first.
and he denied it, so why he got to
He
prove it?
denied it for a month, and then when he found out that I talked to her, then that's when he told me, "I'm sorry, I was being stupid, and I didn't mean to do things like that. I know I have a baby."
But is that enough to ruin a marriage, which you say is based on Christian principles? What happened to forgiveness?
I forgave
Forgot
him.
that principle, huh?
I forgave him. If I didn't forgive him, we wouldn't have been together after that.
But now you're
he's
divorcing?
He wants a divorce. I didn't want a divorce. I begged him
Okay,
to
well,
stay
tell
with
me why you say this 7-month-old child is not yours. Because of the phone
I talked
calls
to
to the
somebody on the phone.
ex-boyfriend's
The
house.
phone calls.
Oh,
and
please.
hold on. And during the time, so
I never knew that you could make a baby by a phone call.
all right, this is all right. Well, this is what after Alyssa was born. Okay, she was born in June.
Is that the oldest child or the 7-month-old?
The oldest child.
Why we
Okay.
keep going back to that one? You sure
Because
that one?
I'm telling you, what I'm saying is after 3 months, say after the baby was born, we were able to have sex again, basically. Okay, we didn't use protection, and she
back to
never.
that story.
And she never got pregnant until I got the phone bill. I started sleeping on the couch. During that time of the 2 months I was sleeping on the couch, all of a sudden she got pregnant.
So you're saying
No.
that's why you think that she's pregnant, because you weren't having sex with her, you were sleeping
weren't.
on the couch.
Correct. And
You know,
so she
there's
was
a
hiding
presumption
something.
under
She
the
was
law.
hiding something.
There's a presumption under the law that a child conceived during the marriage is a child of the marriage. And unless you overcome that presumption by some strong evidence, then the child is yours. Do you have any evidence to overcome that presumption?
This other daughter that looks nothing like me.
Yes, she does.
Looks nothing like me. The other.
That doesn't
other
prove
daughter.
that she's not yours because she doesn't look
it
like
does
you.
not.
looks
It does
like
not
me.
prove. There's
Do
no,
you know
there's
that
no
looks
paternity
and
test.
stuff can go down
There's-
2 or 3, 4 generations?
There has been no paternity test. Okay.
That's
And
what
I
I'm
tried-
asking. Do you have any proof?
No, I do not. No, I do not.
So as far as I'm concerned, the child is yours until you can bring some other proof that is not yours.
I've already filed for
I
paternity
told him
test.
to
I like
take
to.
paternity
get-
test. I'm not afraid to take it. It's his.
Now, what else can I do for you? Because that just sounds like another one of those. You're jumping to conclusions. And you're jumping to conclusions based on bare bone facts. And you're letting it destroy a marriage. And whatever Christian principles you believe in, you missed the major one. Love is enduring. Love suffers long. Love is forgiving. Love is kind. Love is patient. Go right back to 1 Corinthians 13, okay?
Right.
Read it.
Right.
Practice it. Because right now you're telling me you start this out about my Christian ethics and you don't have anything, nothing.
No, I'm not. Like I said, I was not the perfect Christian, and I'm not saying I am now, and I'm not saying I am now.
No, we're
But
not talking about that. The point is that you shouldn't be divorcing a woman that you love that has 2 of your children just because of a silly telephone bill with the phone number on it. Come on.
That is not the only thing.
Well, tell me something else. I haven't heard anything.
It goes.
Well, I heard the controlling part. She makes you tell him when she feeds the baby.
I made him pay
that
bills.
That is silly on your part.
Well, no, I gave that up.
So do you want me to settle this phone bill or what?
The phone bills? No. The phone bill is already paid for.
So what's the issue?
The car and the bills that he stuck me with.
What bills?
He stuck me with $7,000 on a credit card.
We never had a credit card.
$7,000 in a credit card?
We had 4 credit cards.
Wrong.
A lease that he stuck me with, the creditors calling me.
Wrong.
And then I have everything here.
Did you use the cards? Did she
Yes.
use credit cards during the marriage?
We had 2. We had 2 to my knowledge that we had.
That's the only 2
cards.
she's talking about up here, and
Yes.
plus the lease.
Yes, that's
All right?
correct.
So they're your debts,
No.
they're joint
There's
debts.
ours.
It was 4 credit cards.
And
Okay, the ones that I added up.
Okay.
That came to $1,300 plus the apartment lease. But that's still not $7,000.
Well, then the car we put on there was $2,400, and then the couch was
Wrong.
$1,500.
Car was never $1,400.
It
Where's
was
the car?
It was 20. I can't find the bill for the car.
Oh,
but that's
you can't
what was
find the
on
bill.
there.
I can't make him pay it.
But see,
and what about the couch? $1,500. I don't
We
see
paid
that.
$800, and we charged $1,500.
Where is it?
I don't know.
You don't know? I don't
see,
either.
I didn't
would
want to
not-
go
All right,
through
let's
that
stop.
again.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict.
You got married, too young, didn't understand what you were getting yourselves into.
And an update on the case of Kara Williams versus Rick Williams.
3 months ago, I get diagnosed with MS. Not once did he go to the doctor with me. He tells me it's all in your head. You're just a little drama queen.
Divorce Court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce Court is back and the verdict is in the case of Angela Smith, who says her husband Samuel's extreme jealousy has ruined their marriage.
You got married, too young, didn't understand what you were getting yourselves into. Didn't go to counseling, apparently, or if you went, you didn't listen. Now you're in a bind. And both of you blame the other. And it's each of your fault because it was 2 of you there. I'm ordering him to pay, each of you to pay 1/2 of the documents, the debts for which you have provided proof. That's the back rent and the other credit cards, which total $4,983. Each of you pay 1/2 of those obligations. The other stuff, you have not presented your proof. I can't give you an order for things you can't prove. That's your obligation to bring it to me.
I looked.
All right. So is the order of the court. Court's adjourned.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
When Divorce Court returns, an update on the case of Kara Williams versus Rick Williams.
After she had told me that she did not want to be there, that she can do bad by herself, I say, fine, I give you what you want. You want to be by yourself, then you be by yourself.
Closed captioning for Divorce Court provided by. If you would like to have the judge hear your case in Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. And now for an update on a previous case in Divorce Court. Kara said her husband Rick married her for better or worse, but when she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, she says he abandoned her and their son.
3 months ago, I get diagnosed with MS. Not once did he go to the doctor with me.
She lies.
He tells me it's all in your head. You're just a little drama queen.
Is that when you started to lose your love and excitement and interest in her?
I need help.
Rick does not like responsibility.
Rick wanted Kara to return the wedding ring he'd bought her, so he brought her to court.
He promised me that he would provide for me and take care of me.
After she had told me that she did not want to be there, that she can do bad by herself, I say, fine, I give you what you want. You want to be by yourself, then you be by yourself.
He left me with nothing. We got evicted.
What about that, Mr. Williams? Sounds a little cold to me.
The judge denied Rick's request and ordered Kara to keep her wedding ring. Kara says Rick has not seen his son nor given their son any money since they left court. Rick says he's been too busy to see his son, but he says he has spoken to him on the phone. Kara is moving into a new apartment so she can move on with her life.
I jumped into this relationship.
Oh, there's nothing between us anymore. I can live my life the way I want to now. I don't have to go by him.
I want to find out. It's not fair to the baby to find out if the baby is going to grow up without a father.
It's his kid, and he's got to know.
I love my daughter, and I'm going to fight for her. I'm going to see her as much as I can.
He can take her to church on the weekends he has her. I have no problem with that.